And we begin this episode in Jellicoe, Tennessee. Very small, quiet town that sits on the state line of Tennessee and Kentucky. Right there, where the road changes, that's Kentucky. There's also a historic plaque upon this marker. Check this out. Kentucky, an Iroquois word that means meadow land. It was visited by Indian tribes from as far west as the Rocky Mountains before 1750. Really cool how this sits right here on the state line. We're gonna head into Kentucky today, right there, right off the bat. Some abandoned structures. Let's check those out. Man, look at this beauty. Literally sits on the state line. That is incredible. Whoa, we were just right over there. There's the welcome sign to Tennessee. That's where we started the video. Just gonna walk along this building, take a peek inside. This entire stretch of buildings, just the facades really, all caved in. Whoa, check this out. Oh man, this has been open for many years. There are giant trees in here, a lot of trash. It's pretty incredible. And then over here, check it out. Still got the door frames and a little bit of the door. You can see some of the second floor is still hanging by a thread there. And at some point, this one was on fire. You can still see some of the charred wood. There's even larger trees in there. Oh yeah, there's still some stairs in there. It says up here, Hillside Lodge. And then on this one, Boston Lodge. Circa, I'm gonna say 1853. It's 78 degrees here on this Kentucky summer morning. It's absolutely beautiful. It's summer. It's a great day. It's a great atmosphere for an adventure. And I stopped right here along the highway, Highway 92. An old barn just sitting back here in the brush. Doesn't look like anyone's using it. It's a big spread of land. Beautiful morning. I'm ready for this adventure. We're gonna see a lot of stuff today. My grandparents are from Kentucky. They were born in Albany, which is not terribly far from here. I turned around because I saw this. We're on Old 92. There you go. Got my other camera up so you could see it better. Now that's a relic. Good morning, Kentucky. Beautiful out here, man. And we come to Strunk, Kentucky. In the shadows of the morning. An old general store. Look at this place. Looks like they used to have ice cream, as it says in the window there. This is incredible. Also, there's an old building right here. It says after hours. This could have been an old convenience store or gas station. Check out the old door there. Wow. And on the porch over here, there's a nice little cat. It says Duncan Hardware and Groceries. Hi there, my friend. How you doing? Gonna call you Old Gray. Looks friendly. This is a relic right here, man. This is awesome. Got the old rainbow bread sign. If these walls could talk, right? This is a cool find. Duncan Hardware and Groceries. And an old gray cat. Hello. Welcome back to the channel. I am Tampa J, and today we will be checking out some abandoned places in Kentucky and ultimately heading to the birthplace of Kentucky in Danville. One of the main things I want to see today, though, along the way, is an abandoned highway tunnel, US Highway 27. Now there's a bridge that goes across the Cumberland River, but there used to be a tunnel that went underneath, and there is still part of that tunnel. I saw an image of it, and it really sparked this whole idea to come up here today. We're gonna go take a look at that abandoned roadway tunnel. It's a roadway tunnel. Cars used to drive through it. Also, in that same area, if we can get down to it, there is a railroad tunnel. So we're gonna check that out today. We're gonna head up to Danville, the birthplace of Kentucky, to see where this state began. Again, my grandparents are from Albany. Look forward to coming back and checking out more of Kentucky, specifically the hollers as my family called it. And yeah, that's gonna be the video. Thank you so much for watching. Sit back, relax, hope you enjoy the show. There's much ahead. And we will be along 27 for most of this video. And across the way from the general store, the old Strunk voting house. I wonder if they still use that. I've seen some of these across the way, old voting houses. When you don't have a church or a post office or a public building, you get a little shack to vote in. An old US 27 motel. That's neat. Someone's keeping up mowing the property, but no one's staying there. Got a lumber yard. Making the timber, making the lumber right here. Look at all those logs over there. That's awesome. And just a little ways up US 27 as we're heading north, across from these railroad tracks. A bunch of boulders just kind of piled there too. Across from these railroad tracks, got this old church sitting on the hill up here. Wow, no one's walked up these steps in quite some time. Check it out, all grown up. There used to be a sign that hung here. Never seen a church quite like this abandoned. It's a beautiful building. Nice big brick sanctuary. This is called Pine Knot. Welcome to Pine Knot, Kentucky. It's a cool building. And welcome to Stearns, Kentucky. This giant building looks like an old feed store, maybe an old general store. I see small engine repair, hardware store. Nothing going on here. And up the hill, look at this. Looks like a historic mansion up there, maybe an old inn. Get a little closer. And then in between these two buildings, here on Bridge Street, this is probably the oldest building. Big South Fork Scenic Railway. Oh, there's an attraction back here. I'm gonna drive down there, take a look. Not much going on here. Welcome to Stearns. I feel like it used to be booming. Look at this old Newport advertisement right there. That's classic. Definitely 80s. Definitely 80s. All right, so move my car down the hill. This definitely used to be a giant attraction of some sort. Scenic Railway. The water tower, the Stearns water tower, towering in the background. And then over here, out beside the old hardware store, they have the areas where they used to keep, I'm guessing, materials. Oh wow, no, that's an old railroad bridge. But I'm assuming, because we're behind this old store, hardware store, this was perhaps a lumber yard, and these are the gravel pits where they kept stuff. Oh yeah, there's some stone still in here. Check it out, different gravels. They probably had a loader that would put this in the back of your truck. There's some river rocks, if you're looking for some river rocks. These are old railroad tracks. These are cool. Definitely old railroad tracks. And up there, I don't know if they still do this, but there's the old train. Have to Google this place, see if they're still open. There's a sign that says open. Maybe I'm just on the back side. I think I'm just on the back side. They still operate. They're just not open today. Here's the map. Big South Fork Scenic Railway office, which is just around the corner on Henderson. So yeah, I'm definitely on the back side. All right, so I came around front. This looks a lot better. Stearns Coal, Lumber, and Railroad. Store number 1, store number 3, pottery. That map down the hill plotted all of this out. So over here is the main entrance of the Scenic Railway tour. Also, there's a little choo-choo train over here. Look at this. Here you go. Up on the hill in this park, a little playground for the kiddos. That's really neat. That would have been fun. And here's the front side of the attraction. You can see some of the train down here too as well. The artisan shop and the artisan classroom. McCreary County Heritage Foundation. It's like a ghost town around here. Oh wow, there you go. Don't see the engine. Maybe it's just not out today. The train depot, Big South Fork Scenic Railway. And it looks like there's an artisan class going on inside there right now. That's why all the cars are over there. Look at this. Look at that old train house. Wow, that's old. So this old lodge here on the corner is actually the Stearns Museum here on Clubhouse Drive. Drove around it so you can see it. There's the sign right there. Stretch of buildings we just saw. Not open today either. Got to come back on the weekend to explore this and everything Kearns has to offer. Wasn't planning on stopping here. Just ran into this little town. That's my favorite. That's why I love just getting in my car and driving and getting out there. All right, much ahead. And look at this on the west side of Stearns still. Abandoned apartment building. I can tell at one point there used to be a second floor balcony right here. It's gone. Place is wide open, really cool. Not only there, but over there too. This entire place just left for dead. And the house on the hill at the end of this same property, completely wide open. That's a nice looking house too. Doors open, front doors open. Wow. And now we come to Whitley City. Look at that. Wide open. I'm just running into all kinds of abandoned places off the bat. I will definitely be back to this area. Okay, check this out. I came to Whitley City because I saw this. Welcome to Dairy Bar. Established in 1933. Check out this Roadside 50s diner, and I've come to check it out. This looks cool. They're playing Good Vibrations right now, Beach Boys. Doesn't get much more classic than this. Holy cow. Looks like they sell BLTs. It's a little early. It's, let's see, 10:19, but they are open. They're probably serving breakfast, maybe some coffee. I could go for some coffee. Looks like it used to be an old drive-in. Got the lady here with the plate. The old 57 Chevy Bel Air. That's really neat. I love the old school paintings here. Looks like they got chuck wagon, chicken strips, chicken salad, chili dogs, Cuban sandwiches. Hey, I like a good Cuban sandwich. Oh my gosh, it's an active phone booth. That's incredible. So you got a dial tone? No, it's not hooked up. Wishful thinking though, that's really cool. And it says Dairy Bar right there. That's amazing. It's a good photo spot. I have hit the jackpot. Look at this place. Oh man, it smells so good in here. Wow. Oh man, this is it doesn't get much more classic than this. I'd like to do your 1 egg special with bacon,
okay.
And then a coffee,
Okay.
just black, and
Okay.
a water, if you got it.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, when I walked in here, I said I was just gonna get coffee, and then I smelled the place. I got breakfast. Ooh, wow. They got a full soda bar in here, classic soda bar, ice cream. They got the Elvis booth. The King. Look at this. Awesome. All right, so I sat at the bar. Check this out. Wow. Comes with biscuits and gravy. I got egg over medium, bacon, and I got home fries, dude. Oh, and there's my coffee and my water. Did I just go back in time or what? This is so cool. It's a great bacon. All right, guys, if you want a good breakfast, you can pretty much stop anywhere, but if you want a great breakfast, you stop at the Dairy Bar. That was fantastic. All right, I look forward to coming back here for lunch sometime, having a hamburger, maybe some ice cream. My bill was $9.26. Wow. I left a good tip too. Actually, I left more of a tip than I paid for the regular meal. That's how much I enjoyed it. Come check out Dairy Bar in Whitley City, Kentucky. It's like going back in time. There's a train track. There's a train right there, right down the hill. Cool. And a little construction here on the highway as we're entering Daniel Boone National Forest. There's the Daniel Boone National Forest Ranger Station. Looks like they're digging out this ditch here. Oh yeah, there you go. Getting some work done. All right, so we come to Burnside, Kentucky. There's a historic marker that I did a U-turn for that I want to check out. Stretch of buildings here. Burnside, named after General Burnside of the Civil War, which we referenced in yesterday's video in Knoxville. I was reading that they named this town Burnside because General Burnside had a camp here along the Cumberland River back during the Civil War. General Burnside, that's where we get the name Sideburns, by the way, because he had those sideburns. He was born in Liberty, Indiana, not too far from where I was born. So here's the reason I stopped up here. First Boy Scout troop. Before Boy Scouts of America was organized, 1910, a troop of 15 had been formed here. Spring of 1908 by Mrs. Myra Greeno Bass, using the official handbook of English scouting. She guided them hiking and camping like scouting today, known as Eagle Troop. Horace Smith was troop leader. Insignia was a red bandana around neck, reputed the first American Boy Scout troop. So wow, the very first scout troop before the Boy Scouts of America. That's really cool. And I just recently found out that the Boy Scouts were a thing in England. That's pretty cool. And I walked down the sidewalk just a little further to show you this place. Looks like it used to be an old storefront. A couple spots, like the green, just sitting vacant, abandoned. Huh, could have been an old restaurant. Not much going on here in Burnside. We are almost to Somerset, and that's where the abandoned highway tunnel is. Sits just off the Cumberland River. All right, folks, to show you where I'm at, I just pulled off the side of Highway 90 here. There's a nice little grass cul-de-sac. There is a trail that goes right underneath this bridge that goes across the Cumberland River. You can see the bridge right there. So there's a trail that goes down underneath the bridge, and I saw this on a map, and it leads me to the tunnel. It's quite a trek, so we're gonna be on foot, and we'll try to get a better look at this bridge. All right, so far, not a bad walk down this little incline. We're gonna be immediately underneath this bridge. This looks pretty cool. Oh wow, check it out. Okay, wow. Gigantic bridge, a lot of graffiti down here. The river right there. Wow, let's take a look at this. And, oh wow, there's a walkway up there. Okay, I might have to climb up there and check that out. This is known as the houseboat capital of the world bridge. A lot of houseboats in this area of the country, I'm guessing. That's what it says on the map. Crazy. This is a lot. I didn't cross this bridge to get here, so it's blowing my mind right now. Hopefully we can walk, hopefully we can get down to where we need to go. Just a quick climb and we're up here. Look at this. And whoa. Not only one, but two walkways underneath this bridge, and you can walk clear across it. Check it out. Wow. This reminds me of the Lost Boys, although this looks a little bit safer. Wow. Wasn't expecting to do this today. And you gotta duck down, gotta be careful out here. I'm not gonna walk all the way across, but I could if I wanted to. This thing's moving. Wow. I'm shocked that they put a walkway here, but I guess it makes sense if they want to do any kind of maintenance to the bridge. Hoping to get a view of the tunnel. All right, so kind of looked at my map as I'm standing out here. In order to get to the tunnel, we'd have to walk about a half a mile or most up that rocky shore to find it. So I'm hoping if I go on the other side of this bridge, like this over there, I can get a good view of it for you. Whoa, just right here. Just right there. That's a long way down. It's beautiful too. Look at the river, Cumberland River, Somerset, Kentucky. I know my parents have been here. All right, I'll be very careful, but I'm gonna walk across here, no railing, to that other rail so I can get out there and show you the tunnel. Know your worth. I like that. I've said that before. Someone spray painted that as I'm walking across here. Just a straight line. Just pretending there's rails to my left and to my right. I did it. Almost there. Look at that. We made it. This is incredible. I've never been on a bridge like this. Ooh, what was that? That's creepy. I'm gonna hold on to, ooh, birds. Birds. All right, guys, so I am almost halfway, right above the Cumberland River. It's absolutely beautiful. This is crazy out here. I can begin to see the shadows of the tunnel, which is right over here. So in order to get there, there's a neighborhood behind these trees up the hill. We'd have to walk along this jagged coast, and I don't think that's possible. The water is up. We would have to come back when the water is down. So I wish I had brought my other camera. I'm gonna walk out just a little further, see if I can get a better look for you. But right here in the shadows is the abandoned tunnel. So I'm actually walking downhill. Halfway of the bridge goes down and then it goes back up. You can see the walkway all the way to the other side. It's pretty crazy. Don't look down. That water is beautiful. Wow. Ooh, bird. I'm being careful. I don't want to drop anything. Got my hat backwards so it doesn't fly off. Oh yeah. I don't know if you can see it, but there's definitely a tunnel over there. I've got it right in the center of the screen. That's where the tunnel is. It's hard to see it because of the shadows. Boat coming out right there. Yeah, I think it's I think it's full of water. There's no way we're getting in there. No way. Being very careful. Very careful. And the boat's going right under us right here. Look at that. That's awesome. There's another one coming too. Pontoon boat. There he goes. Woo! Nice little breeze. That looks fun. Makes me happy. Yeah. Jagged cliffs all the way down. About 3/4 of a mile. This is a hike I probably won't do alone the next time I come back out here. Much ahead. I'm still gonna go to that neighborhood, and also there's a railway tunnel that might be more accessible. We'll go check that out too. All right, made it back down. There is no trail over here. You have to literally climb down the cliff to get on that rocky shore. And the people who have been out there, I think that's what they did. Now I think it was winter. I don't think it was the rainy season. That's the way down right there. Wasn't expecting that type of hike today, so we'll be back. Let's go check out the railroad tunnel in the neighborhood. All right, so there's the bridge. This is Childress Drive. That's where I parked. On my map here, you can see it right here. Old 27 tunnel, and there's a cul-de-sac right there, and then over here to the left, can't see it right here, but the old Cumberland River Railroad tunnel. I'm gonna hang a left, go check out the railroad tunnel and see how close we can get to the tunnel from the neighborhood. All right, Sunshine Road. This is the road down to the railway tunnel. They do not want you coming on this property right here. 2 no trespassing signs, private property, and also down this road over here. Okay. We will abide. All right, this is Highview Drive. This roundabout here, this cul-de-sac, right here at the point of this island. Look at this. This is wild. You would never know this is right behind these houses. These are some really nice homes. We would have to walk through their yard and go down the hill to the tunnel. Now we could knock on their door and see if we could walk through the yard and climb down, but I'm not gonna do that. Once the river goes down, might give it another try someday. But right down this cliff here, US 27 tunnel. Just seeing the bridge was really cool, and that was a surprise, so I'm happy with that. All right, check this out. I believe I just found an abandoned drive-in. Highway 27 drive-in in Somerset, Kentucky. Check it out. Here's the screen right here. Wow. Okay, reminds me of the Skyview Drive-In I grew up going to in Newcastle, Indiana. Looks like we're coming right up to the ticket booth. All right, there is a no trespassing posted right there, but we're right in front. We can see everything. Here's the ticket booth. See the limestone, very mid-century giveaway. And then look out on the hill out there. Another screen in the projection house. The poles are still out there. Oh my gosh. I still see some speakers. And right here's the main screen. Comment if you've ever seen a movie out here. The 27 Drive-In, US 27. It doesn't get more Americana than this. I've always wanted to come across an abandoned drive-in that was pretty much intact 100%. And look at this right here in Somerset, Kentucky. Also unplanned today. I got my other camera out so I could zoom way out there. There's the other screen, the speaker poles, the projection house. I wonder if that projection house has the same tile floor that all the projection house of all the drive-ins I used to go to have. I'm thinking of the one in Tampa that I used to go to on Hillsborough Avenue. Also, Skyview had that, and the one out in Lakeland, Florida, Silver Moon. That was the most recent one I went to. And I went to one in Dade City, which I think might be on 27. It might be 301, but it had the same tile floor that every single drive-in theater like this one had. And I'm sure it does. It'd be cool to see it. Had to get a closer look at this sign. She's a beauty. Think about all the letters of all the movies that were up here over all the years. Can only imagine maybe a screening of Friday the 13th happened here. Back to the Future, Ghostbusters. Just naming some of my favorites here. We could go on. Check this out. I'm gonna get it all into frame. That's pretty gnarly, dude. There you go. There's the shot right there. Got it. All right, so I'm gonna head up to Danville, Kentucky, the birthplace of Kentucky, a very historic place. Looking forward to walking around there and finding out more about its history. There's much ahead. All right, we have now reached Danville, Kentucky, just a little ways from downtown. A roadside attraction called Pioneer Playhouse, outdoor theater, and campground. 76 seasons. This has been around for quite some time. Looks like it's back this way, and just before it, looks like a music shop here called Fuzzle. I'm gonna drive back here. I don't think there's any shows going on today, but I want to take a look. It looks pretty cool. The sign does say now playing Walking Across Egypt with a little puppy there. Huh, all right, I'm on this gravel road. Looks like the theater is somewhere. Wow, this is cool. Look at this. Looks like a little town. Okay, it looks like the theater is over here on the other side. This is like a roundabout. Also, it says that the camping office is out here as well. Those look like old shops. Looks like an old train station. Oh, there's a town out here. Oh, wow. It's a little town. I wonder if they have any outside performances here. Maybe like an old Wild West show. All right, so that's an old train depot, which is also the ticket booth right there in the window. Looks like it's a repurposed train station from Freehaven. And then right next to it, here's the actual Pioneer Playhouse. They're not open right now, but there's obviously people out here, maybe practicing for the play. Enjoy theater under the stars. Treat yourself to a show. So it is an outdoor theater. Oh, okay. Must be out that way. All right, check this out. In the windows, creepy mannequins. Oh man. This place is unique. I've never seen anything like this. Almost reminds me of the Big Fish Town. Really cool. And a really old cabin. Look at that. Wow. That's been sitting out here for a while. That's amazing. Okay. Well, they're not open, but I'm glad we could just take a look. Cool place. The old Pioneer Theater. All right, so we have landed in downtown Danville. and we are at Constitution Square historical site. It is a square, and there's a bunch of historic buildings right here. We are just a little ways down from the downtown Main Street area, up the street there. I'm gonna take a look at this place and then we'll walk up to the downtown. Lots of old stuff to see here. Park closes at sunset. We've got a nice map here to show you what's going on. We are here on this street here. It says visitor parking. That's where we're at, where the stars are. Post office, Governor's Circle, Meeting House, Schoolhouse, Grayson's Tavern. We're gonna walk around and take a look. All right, so this is the southeast corner of the Constitutional Square. This building right here, it says it's Grayson's Tavern. Circa 1785, was owned and operated by Benjamin Grayson as the first tavern in Danville. The political club of Danville, formed in 1786, met here frequently to discuss issues which formed the framework of the Kentucky Constitutions. Now, we know through history that a lot of political meetings over the years, big decisions, wars, conflicts, started in taverns. That's just history right there, for sure. There's a cool garden over here. Look at this. Mary G. Atkin Kitchen Herb Garden. Oh, okay. There's the kitchen. The brick kitchen. We've got some rosemary and some thyme. Also, some caladium and winter savory. And here we are on the back side of the tavern, the kitchen. I wonder if the kitchen's open. Don't think this place is, but you can always try. Nope, locked up. And it does have a basement. Look at that. I'm sure this is open on the weekends. It is Monday. Although we can take a peek through the window. Here you go. Right there. I wonder if the Kentucky Constitution was signed right there. I'm sure we'll figure out where that was signed somewhere. It's got to be somewhere here. And Lewis and Clark were here. Lewis and Clark in Kentucky, Danville, in December 1806. William Clark, co-leader of Lewis and Clark expedition to the Pacific Ocean, visited his nephews in school in Danville. Clark was en route to Washington to report to President Jefferson and other government officials about the journey. It is likely that expedition co-leader Meriwether Lewis visited Danville in November 1806 with expedition veterans and a Mandan Indian delegation while traveling the Wilderness Road eastward to Washington. There you go, Lewis and Clark visited Danville. That's pretty cool. There is something open here, an art gallery. Open today, Captain Robert Craddock Conference Center Art Commission. It's a really old building. Oh, I think this is actually the old schoolhouse. This one-story brick building, originally only 2 rooms, was the first brick schoolhouse in Danville. The schoolhouse, circa 1820, was renovated in 1975. And there's an art gallery in there. Some folks just went in. That looks like a nice time. I'm gonna head this way. Look ahead. We're gonna walk right inside a barn, straddling the sidewalk. I'm sure the barn was there first though. All right, on this building, which is the public restrooms on the way over, we have the Danville Pooper Scooper Ordinance. Please pick up after your pets. Pets must be on a leash. I love that, the Pooper Scooper Ordinance. Okay, so we're gonna walk inside here, walk through here. This is the old, wow, I thought it was a barn. This is the old jail. In 1785, the District Court of Kentucky ordered the construction of a jail, see what I did there? To be constructed of a 9-inch logs. This replica of the jail was built in 1942. So this is not the original, it is a replica, and it is open. Oh, neat, there's plexiglass in here. Got some, what do we got over here? Little desk and a chair, little cornhusk broom, some history on the wall. It's hard to make it out through the plexiglass. It's a pretty nice cabin. It's pretty old, 1947, that's a long time ago. And then across the way, that was the office. Here's the cell. Look at that. At least you get a table and a chair and a candle, and that's where you sleep. Bells are going off. Let's see what time it is. 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock on the dot. And looky here, downtown Danville. It's a cool statue over here. It's a circle. That's an old bell. First USCT recruits of Camp Nelson. Although a few local slave owners tried to reclaim some of the men, the recruits were accepted into the Army, causing a Union policy change that allowed able-bodied African-American men, including slaves, to enlist. Over 5,000 U.S. colored troops were eventually recruited at Camp Nelson, with some of the first coming from Boyle County. So that happened right here. All right, so this is the Governor's Circle, the Governors of Kentucky, right here at Constitutional Square. So let's go over here. Let's see who's first. Don't know if this is where it starts. We're in the 1915 through 1919 A.O. Stanley, 38th governor. So he started here with a 38th. I wonder who's in the middle. I can only assume the first. I've never seen something like this. This is pretty cool how they did this. I like this. They all have their own plaque and their face is on the plaque. Here is the John Leroux Helm, 24th governor, and also has their signature underneath their head. All right, so up here, I think on the left, Isaac Shelby, 1750 to 1826. It says right here on his plaque, first governor of Kentucky. And also, he came back. He was the 5th governor of Kentucky as well, from 1812 to 1816. One of Shelby's first acts as governor was to call for and help design the Great Seal of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and figures of a pioneer and statesman in the statue represent a later version of the seal. So, okay. This is in the seal of Kentucky made by Isaac Shelby, and I think that's either him to the left or to the right. So it talks about here, all these plaques are for Isaac Shelby, the first governor of Kentucky. Statesman, patriot, governor, political leader, military leader. If you take a screenshot, it'll last longer. Soldier, and last but not least, pioneer. So Mr. Shelby is shaking hands with Mr. Shelby. I get it now. From the pioneer to the governor. I see it. Okay, I see what he did there. And I have found the latest governors. Here we are in the 2000s, coming up to the current Matthew G. Bevan. Or maybe the current governor has not got his stone here yet. I'll have to look up the current governor. I have no idea. There is Matthew Bevan, the 62nd governor, and the last person here at the Governor's Circle represented. Let's see. Let's ask good old Google who the governor is currently in Kentucky. Who is the current governor of Kentucky? Andy Beshear, B-E-S-H-E-A-R. And if you're commenting from Kentucky, you've been yelling at the screen, because you should know. Oh, wow. Stephen Beshear. Was that Andy's father? They kind of look alike. I'm looking at the photo. Huh. All right, I came over to the corner just to look at the downtown. This is a very nice, well-kept Main Street. Look at those buildings over there. Main Street, USA, right here. The lights, the concrete, the buildings, all in great shape. Definitely the best shape of a town that I've seen today. Look at this. Burke's Bakery and Delicatessen. That looks like a classic right there. All right, we're gonna head back into Constitutional Square. Just wanted to come over here and show you downtown Danville. I see a lot of old buildings and history through the streets here. Walker Daniel founded Danville 1781, first Attorney General of Kentucky District 1783. As a member of commission, went to Falls of Ohio to allot lands and Clark's grant to members of Illinois Regiment. Daniel was killed by Indians August 1784 on way to visit brother at Bullett's Lick. So there you go, named after his town, Danville. And look, there you go. There's the seal right there, the statue we just saw right over there. It's actually right over there. Also, they have a Saturday market here from May to October in Constitutional Square, Governor's Market. That would be a great spot. Back inside the square, a little cabin here with some history on it. Gonna read this plaque. Actually, here you go. It's a big sign here. Oh, this is the post office. This original building, built pre-1792, served as the first office west of the Alleghenies. On August 20th, 1792, Thomas Barbie was commissioned postmaster. The first mail was received on November 3rd, 1792. The post office was moved here from its original site 2 blocks west on Walnut Street. So this is an original post office from 1792, and the door is wide open. Another historical plaque there. Wow. Cool that they have this here. Saddlebags. That's where they would put their letters. We've got pictures on top of the mantle. Look at this. That's where the post office used to sit. And look, the Pony Express. And here's a picture over here of the post office west of the first post office west of the Alleghenies. That's pretty awesome. That's where it used to sit on Walnut Street. That's pretty significant. The first post office west of the Alleghenies is still standing. And according to this sign, we are on the National Scenic Byway of the Lincoln Heritage Trail. If you keep going, you'll run into the birthplace of Lincoln, which I visited 3 years ago. One of my most favorite days ever. I always wanted to see where President Abraham Lincoln was born. Again, if you didn't know, born right here in Kentucky. Raised as a boy in Indiana and became king in Illinois. I say king, but he wouldn't have called himself that. And this is Fisher's Row. Fisher's Row, circa 1816 to 1817, built by Jeremiah Fisher as the first rental property in Danville. These are apartments. Fisher's Row consists of two-story houses with a common wall. The brick is laid in the Flemish bond pattern. Reminds me of Philadelphia, really. And according to that sign over there, this was the Department of Economic Development. It's a cool sculpture someone's made out of the tree stump there. Chamber of Commerce. Oh wait, these are active offices. So that is Economic Development. This is the Chamber of Commerce. And this down here is the Economic Development Partnership Industrial Foundation. So these original apartments are currently used as government buildings. That's really neat. I can see the offices in there too. People are working. All right, so there's a lot of stuff to look at here in Constitutional Square, but we have just a couple more buildings. This looks like an old church. It's a street sweeper up there. See, they keep this town clean. He's working hard. The original log meeting house erected on this site in 1784 under the direction of Reverend David Rice housed the newly formed Concord Presbyterian congregation, the first Presbyterians in Kentucky. This replica was erected in 1942. Take a look inside. Looks like an old schoolhouse, old church. So this, yeah. This is where they had meetings, but this is the fake one. It's really cool. And last but not least, this is where we started. That's where I parked. We have the old courthouse. I wonder if this is where they signed the Kentucky Constitution. We're about to find out. Although it is a replica, the original log courthouse, which was built on this site in 1784 and 1785, housed the Supreme Court of Kentucky and the Constitutional Conventions, which led to the Kentucky's statehood on June 1st, 1792. So there you go. It's a replica built in 1942 as well. But this is the site and a similar building where the Constitution of Kentucky was signed. Looks like we have a portrait right up there of that day. Notice the fireplace that's above. Looks like the fireplace in the background here. Similar setting set up just like this here today. And over here's the flag, which we just learned about where the insignia came from. Commonwealth of Kentucky. The birthplace of Kentucky. It looks like there was an upstairs. Cool. And this sign says Kentucky District Court Sessions held here March 14, 1785 until Court of Appeals set up in 1792, created by Virginia statute on May 6, 1782. The court first met in Harrodsburg on March 3, 1783. Later meetings at Low Dutch Station and John Crow Station before moved here. Samuel McDowell, John Floyd, George Mutter, first judges, Walker Daniel, prosecutor, John May, the clerk. There you go. Really cool park, absolutely free, beautiful town, very quiet. Okay, so I'm gonna get in my car, drive around Danville, see what else we can find. There is one other thing I wanted to see here. There's still much ahead. I've just been strolling around Danville. What a beautiful town. Amazing. A lot of old churches from the 1700s. Look at this one right here. Lexington Avenue Baptist Church. Really cool. So I parked here on 3rd Street and Broadway on the north side of downtown Danville because I saw this. Look at this beauty right here. Wow. That is a Gothic beauty. That is an amazing old looking church, and I don't think it's a church anymore. I think it's a winery. I saw a sign that says wine in the front door. Look up there. Look at those points right there. Wow. I'm gonna get a little closer here. I'm intrigued. The wine cellar. Danville's most curated wine shop, mrswinecellar.com. And right here in one of the suites of the old church. Looks like they parted this place out. Someone just popped out and said, hey, you want to come try wine? I kindly passed. Wasn't planning on doing that today, but that was really nice of them to invite us in. A wine bar inside a church. That's pretty amazing. You know, Jesus did make wine, or turned water into wine. This corner right here with the ivy. Look at that. Take some spooky pictures right there. That's cool. Love to find stuff like this. Oh, here you go. New Mission Worship Center. Worship services, Sunday school, and Sunday. So they still have church. And this is the entrance right here on the side. But it looks like also this is residential and commercial. Anxious to see what the, wow, that fellowship hall up there, that sanctuary, if it's still intact, it's probably really beautiful. I like the red doors. Yeah. Don't know what this church used to be. There's no history. There's no plaque. But it's beautiful. I like it just the way it is. And we started to look at this building. It's old. It's called the Young Roads Library. And I think, yeah, it's still a library. All right, so there's one last thing I want to show you here in Danville, and it's not too far from here. It's a very historic town. I'm seeing a lot of bed and breakfasts, a lot of historic churches. This is colonial era. This is 1700s Kentucky for sure. These houses are just beautiful. Check out this Victorian treasure over here. Look at that Victorian beauty right there. Wow. Okay, so on the northwest side of Danville, this is really nice. Nice little parking spot, and they also have easy access parking around back. I'm gonna save this for another time because I saw a picture of this place and we can do an entire video at a later date. But I wanted to point out that Danville is home to the Great American Dollhouse Museum. Right in there, and I saw a picture. It looks awesome. I'm gonna save that. Definitely gonna save that. Maybe Chris would like to come with me too. All right, folks, I think I'm gonna end it right here. I've got a 2-hour drive back to Tennessee, back home. I want to thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up. It helps me, it helps the video, it helps get the word out there, helps people see places they may never go vicariously, and I appreciate it. Thank you from from the bottom of my heart. If you like this type of content, make sure to check out my playlist on the main page of my YouTube channel. I have a lot of abandoned stuff already out there, and I started doing the abandoned series in Florida, and now that I'm in Tennessee, I look forward to doing more videos like this one each month. So come back and we'll see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Please know that you're awesome, that you're loved, and no matter who you are or what you're going through, just know that there's always much ahead. There's so much ahead here in Kentucky. I look forward to coming back very soon, either here or somewhere else. I've got a lot of stuff on my list to knock out. I want to go see where my grandparents were born. I've never been there, so that will be coming up sometime in the near future. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Can't thank you enough. Bye-bye.